So welcome to the first video on area, perimeter and volume. The first example here is so straightforward, I'm just going to go for it. So draw the lines of symmetry of an equilateral triangle. Well, to draw the equilateral triangle, we're just going to go for a sketch. To actually draw it properly though, the best way to do this is with a compass. So you would pin the compass at this point, open it up to this length, and then you would draw what's called an arc, like that. And then you would continue around and draw another one down here. And then you would take the compass off and pin it on maybe at this point here. It doesn't have to be at a certain point, but just on this arc. And then we can just draw another one that crosses this arc over here. So we would open it, we would keep it open to the same amount and draw a second arc here, and then we get our 3 points that we can join together. So this would be drawing an equilateral triangle. What I've done is a sketch. But now we've got to draw the lines of symmetry on here. You would have to find the midpoints. Now that's actually quite difficult as well. You could measure it and then just measure halfway. Or again with the compass, you could open it to just over halfway, let's say about here. If it was pinned to this point here, you open it just over halfway, maybe about there, and you draw 2 arcs, one here and then one below. And then you take your compass off this point and you put it on this point. Keeping it open to the same amount, you would draw another line here and then a line further down there. And that gives you a line that goes straight through the midpoint. And that would be the first line of symmetry. You could repeat this on the other 3 sides, and then you'll get the other lines of symmetry, and you'll see they all cross in the same point here. The question really isn't asking you to draw accurately, but I thought it'd just be important to highlight that. The next example, again, there's a small thing to think about here in this question. It says name each of the following shapes. Now, this may look like a parallelogram or even a rhombus, because it looks as though these lines here are parallel and these lines are parallel as well. But it doesn't actually say on the diagram that they are parallel. So the only thing you can really say is that this is just merely a quadrilateral. You could say it was a rhombus if it had these lines on it. So it needs to have these arrowheads showing that they're parallel, and it would have to have the same down here. But I can't just do one arrowhead like that. That means that it's parallel to this one, and it's clearly not. I need to show it's parallel in a different direction with 2 like that. Now, if I were to draw those arrowheads on there, it would be a quadrilateral still, but it would also be a rhombus. This third shape is definitely a triangle. What sort of triangle is it? Well, there are 3 to choose from. You've got a scalene, you've got an isosceles, and an equilateral. Notice equilateral is spelled with an I here, not an A. And also, isosceles, notice it's got the SC in there. It's exactly the same thing as the scalene. So that's just to help with the spelling. The scalene has 3 different sides and 3 different angles. This has 2 equal angles, and therefore this triangle is an isosceles. Equilateral triangles have angles of 60 degrees all the way around.